The ink on the divorce papers was barely dry as Amanda Carter rose from the cold leather chair in the lawyer's office. Her fingers trembled as she set down the pen, as if signing her name had drained the last bit of strength she possessed. Amanda avoided looking at the man sitting across from her, Michael Evans, the man she had once promised to love forever. His dark eyes were fixed on the table, a faint twitch in his jaw betraying the emotions he refused to reveal. Her vision blurred as tears welled up, the weight of the ending tightening like a vice around her chest. Deep inside, a secret screamed, a secret she had no idea what to do with. Michael didn't look at her as she stood, clutching her bag strapped tightly, as if holding on to the last shred of her resolve. Outside, the cold wind stung her cheeks. Amanda looked up at the gray sky, feeling empty. "I have to move on," she told herself, though a part of her trembled, unsure of what the future held. 6 months later, Amanda stood in front of a small hospital in the quiet suburb she had moved to. She had left the bustling city, leaving everything behind in search of a fresh start. In her hand was a small bag with a few personal items and a set of medical files. A week earlier, she had given birth to baby Nathan, the boy Michael would never know about. Amanda stared into the mirror in the hospital bathroom, her eyes weary but resolute. She had made up her mind to keep this secret to herself. "I'll raise him on my own," she whispered. Meanwhile, Michael couldn't escape the memories of Amanda. He buried himself in work, trying to fill the void inside him. Yet every little detail, the way she smiled, the gentleness in her eyes, haunted him. One day, he received a mysterious package. Inside was a letter from an old friend of Amanda's. "Michael, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I think you deserve to know. Amanda has moved to Oak Ridge and recently had a baby boy. Maybe you should find the answers you're looking for." His heart clenched. Amanda has a child? Michael decided to go to Oak Ridge. His heart was filled with doubt, but also brimming with hope. He didn't know how he would face Amanda or if he had the courage to reclaim a place in her life and their child's. When he arrived, Michael saw Amanda holding Nathan in the park. Her expression had changed, calm, yet tinged with deep sadness. Michael approached her, his voice trembling. "Amanda, is that my son?" Amanda flinched, her eyes flooding with emotions, surprise, confusion, and a hint of anger. "Michael, you shouldn't be here. Don't say that, Amanda. I need to know the truth. I need to know my son." Nathan, now starting to crawl, began to cry. Amanda quickly comforted him, but Michael caught a glimpse of the baby's bright blue eyes, eyes that mirrored his own. "Nathan," Michael whispered, his voice filled with anguish. "I've lived in the dark for 6 months, and now you're telling me I don't deserve to know my own child." Amanda tried to stay composed, but her gaze softened as she saw the pain in Michael's eyes. "Michael, I didn't want you to feel trapped. Our lives were such a mess back then. I didn't know if you even wanted to be a father. I should have had the chance to decide, Amanda. We could have faced it together." They decided to sit down and talk. Amanda explained why she had left, her fears, and the courage it took to start over. Michael listened, his heart breaking for the losses they couldn't undo, but also swelling with hope as he looked at Nathan. "Amanda, I can't change the past, but I want to be here, for you and for him." Amanda didn't respond right away. She needed time to think, but for the first time in 6 months, a glimmer of light appeared in her eyes, a glimmer of trust that perhaps they could find their way back, not because of the past, but for Nathan's future. The story continued as Amanda and Michael worked to rebuild their relationship, with Nathan as the bond between them. This time, they weren't just fighting for their love, but for the new family they had never imagined they could have. Amanda sat in silence for a long time, her eyes fixed on baby Nathan, peacefully sleeping in her arms. Michael sat across from her, his hands clenched tightly on his knees, waiting for her response. Finally, she let out a sigh, her voice soft but carrying the weariness of 6 long months. "Michael, I don't know if we can do this. I don't want Nathan to grow up in the cracks of a broken past." Michael felt the hesitation in her words, but he also recognized it wasn't a rejection. He leaned forward, his gaze earnest. "I'm not here to disrupt your life or his. But Amanda, I can't live without knowing my son. Nathan deserves to know his father, and you deserve a partner on this journey. I'm just asking for a chance." Amanda looked at him, her eyes misty. She had never imagined Michael would come looking for her, let alone want to step up as a father. Yet, seeing the determination in his eyes, something inside her softened. "All right," she said, her voice quiet but firm. "We'll try. But Michael, this isn't about you or me. It's all about Nathan. If you're going to be here, you have to prove that you're ready to put him above everything else." Michael nodded with conviction. "I promise." Over the following weeks, Michael began rebuilding his relationship with Amanda and Nathan. He spent time learning every little detail about his son, his likes, his routines, the smallest quirks. At first, Nathan was wary of Michael's presence, but gradually, he warmed up to him. One day, Nathan called him Daddy for the first time, and Michael's heart melted every time he heard it after that. Amanda watched from a distance, her feelings a mix of warmth and caution. She couldn't deny that Michael was trying his hardest, but the pain of the past still lingered heavily in her heart. One evening, after Nathan had fallen asleep, Michael and Amanda sat together on the small sofa in her living room. The air was quiet except for the steady ticking of the wall clock. "Amanda," Michael began softly, "I know I hurt you in the past, but I really want to make things right, not just for Nathan, but for us. Can you give me another chance?" Amanda stayed silent, her eyes focused on the cup of tea in her hands. She knew Michael was making an effort, but was it enough to heal the old wounds? "Michael," she said slowly, "I need time. We lost so much before, and I don't want to rush into something only to be let down again." Michael nodded, respecting her decision. "I understand. I'll wait, Amanda, as long as it takes." As time passed, their relationship began to change. They no longer avoided talking about the past. Instead, they started to share their feelings. Michael spoke of the long nights he regretted letting her go, and Amanda opened up about the fear and loneliness of raising a child on her own. Each conversation was like laying down a brick, slowly rebuilding the bridge between them. Nathan became the heart of their connection. Afternoons spent playing ball in the park, simple dinners filled with laughter. All of it created a sense of family that both Amanda and Michael had once thought impossible. One day, when Nathan turned 1, Michael decided it was time to act on the decision he had been mulling over for months. On a sunny afternoon, he took Amanda and Nathan to a small park near their home. They sat under a large tree, with Nathan happily playing with fallen leaves while Michael and Amanda talked. Turning to Amanda, Michael's expression was filled with sincerity. "Amanda, I know we can't erase the past, but I want to build a new future, not just for Nathan, but for you and me as well. I want us to be a family, a real one. Will you give us another chance?" Amanda looked at him, her heart torn between fear and hope. But when she saw Nathan smile, the way his eyes lit up when he looked at both of them, she knew she didn't want to miss this opportunity. "Michael," she said, her voice trembling, "if you truly want this, we'll try. But this is your only chance." Michael smiled, taking her hand in his. "I promise. I won't let you down again." The first winter after they reunited, snow blanketed the city in white. Michael took Nathan and Amanda to the park where they had first seen each other again. Nathan ran ahead, shouting excitedly about building a snowman. Michael and Amanda rolled snowballs together, Nathan's laughter ringing out like a melody of pure happiness. When they were done, the snowman stood there, crooked but endearing, much like them. Not perfect, but truly a family. Michael turned to Amanda, his eyes filled with sincerity. "Amanda, I love you. I always have." Amanda looked at him, her eyes glistening with tears. "Michael, I love you too." Nathan ran over to them, his smile radiant. "We're a family, right?" Michael knelt down and hugged Nathan tightly. "That's right, son. We're a family." Amanda wrapped her arms around both of them, her laughter mingling with her tears. Snow fell gently around them, the world quiet and perfect. For the first time in years, they truly felt like they had found their home.